let's get on with it, as I'm very, very often told offers say, because what I'm keen to do is start that deep dive process. And a better example of that we can't come up with other than our ecosystem network within Belgium. Why Belgium? And because we're based obviously here in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. But why Belgium, you ask? Well, Belgium are currently presidents of the European Council, okay, which is an important role over a 6-month period, if you're not aware, where each country takes a chance to get involved and become the presidents of Europe. Obviously, some countries that voted for Brexit can't be in that club anymore, but that's not important. What is important is this time it's Belgium. So what I thought we'd do is have a deep dive and look at our Belgian ecosystems and also some of our members in Belgium. But also to talk, and we've got colleagues here from Medvia and also from Allied for Startups. What I thought would be really good to understand is we produced then a deep dive connector document called the Belgian Presidency Connector. I couldn't think of a better title, and guess what? The Spanish one was called the Spanish Presidency Connector. So the clue's usually in the title. You can download that document live now. It's been released today because we're coming to the end of the Belgian presidency. This is a really useful tool. I'm just going to pick on, say, Vinod. If you wanted to explore the Belgian ecosystem network, download this because it's got our members, it's got our ecosystems. It's also got something quite interesting with some of our members who play within Belgium. So some organizations that are not Belgian that also work in Belgium as well, such as McKinsey. And lastly, it also looks at some of our project partners that are there too. So it's a really immersive document. Obviously, this time it's around Belgium. Next time around the corner, it will be Hungary. Previous to that, it was Spain, featuring a lovely lady called Montse, who's managed to make it here all the way from Catalonia with time to spare, I'm pleased to say, to talk later. But enough about that for now. You can download the document, have a look through it, and if your name's not in there and you're based in Belgium, well, you better join us because that's the way you get access to that by becoming a member. Anyway, without further ado, I want to do a deep dive into what we're doing with Medvia. Please, introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much, Andy, for not bringing up the French fries, the chocolates, and those kind of things, as many people say as answer to the question, why Belgium? Okay, why Medvia? Maybe that's another question. Well, first, before answering that question, well, we're a Flemish health ecosystem. If we talk about Belgium, actually, there would be 2 other colleagues sitting here, a colleague representing the Walloon part of Belgium. She's sitting in the audience, hi. And another colleague representing the Brussels part of Belgium. So actually, Belgium, although it's really small, I guess you all know it's divided. Well, not divided is not the correct word. It consists of 3 regions, to put it like that. And no, there's no division. We all work together quite well, I'm very proud to say. But so Medvia, I'm Director Innovation and Strategy from Medvia. We're the Flemish ecosystem, a cluster organization. So we bring together a lot of different stakeholders across the health value chain. We're actually quite a young organization. We were founded September 2021, as you can see on the slide, and we're also a public-private partnership. And with a sexy word, you could call us a spearhead cluster. That's a very nice word the government came up with. So health tech, health innovation is a very important topic for the Flemish government, and they want to spearhead the topic. So what do they do then? Well, they create this cluster organization, which is called Medvia. And what do? Well, we really want to help thrive innovations originating from Flanders. We want to help thrive them on a local, national, international level. We want to help finance them, help find partners in, well, making them great, even greater than they already are. So we're a membership organization where we try to connect all the stakeholders in the health value chain. That means, who are our members? We have hospitals as members. We have government as our member, a patient organization. We have a lot of companies as our member, going from pre-seed to startup, scale-up, and the multinational. Think about pharma companies, for instance. We also have research institutes, the Flemish universities, but also the university colleges. I'm very happy that they have joined Medvia, and why is that? Because I'm a firm believer of the value of research that is being done within university colleges, the applied research, really putting the things into the market, and not only the fundamental research. And who did I forget? I forget our strategic research centers, the IMEX, VIBs, and so on of the world. They're members, like ECH Alliance, and sorry, I always called it EC Alliance, but yeah, I know, ECH Alliance. Yeah. So ECH Alliance, also member organization, we try to connect our members as well. And why is that? Because we truly believe that, yeah, well, innovation, you're not doing it alone. You need other people to work together, to collaborate, and then you really are great or could become great at innovation. So we try to connect our members, and we do that via different types of events, we call it, but actually, to my opinion, event really is not the correct word. It's sharing of expertise, it's sharing of knowledge, it's, well, sharing of interest. So we bring people together in smaller events, small workshops, or what our comms colleagues are calling the brainy breakfasts. It's really a very nice idea. You put in one room 15 people, you give them something to eat in the morning, and you would be amazed about the nice ideas that are coming up if you give them enough coffee, of course. Brainy breakfast, very small, going all the way over to one of our flagship events, which is called the HLTH Investor Summit, and that is really doing what it says that it does. It brings together investors within the HLTH arena in one place together with pre-seed startups and scale-ups, and we let them pitch. We let these organizations pitch in front of a jury consisting of investors in the hope that one of the investors will go on and invest in the company. So bringing people together and trying to get funding coming from VCs, business angels, and so on and so forth. Next to that, we also try to finance the collaborative projects, innovative collaborative projects, via different ways. So not only via investors, but we also have non-dilutive funding to give to innovative collaborative projects. Of course, not to give like that. It has a whole evaluation process. It's money, research money coming from the Flemish government. So it's actually a procedure within Flemish government. But you can apply for projects within our Medvia earmarked financing channel, which amounts to about 9 million euros per year, a bit a different figure than what you mentioned. But still, with 9 million, you can do a lot already. So people can apply for these projects within our funding channel, and then we actually support consortia writing these projects in really crystallizing their idea, because you would be amazed about all these clever people sitting together in a consortia, and then you ask, oh, and who's going to pay for your solution? And one goes, well, it will be the patient. No, it will be the professional. No, it will be government. So there's no conclusion there. So we're asking these questions so that the ideas are getting crystallized and the projects are getting better, and they have a larger success rate of getting this funding coming from Flemish government. Next to that funding, we actually also scout European funding, where we really look out for calls that are helping our members, so that we know, well, we tend to know our members pretty well, know what they do or want to do or what they need. So if we see a call out there within EIT Health or Horizon Europe or EU4Health or one of the other funding schemes, we will bring it to their attention so that they can apply for it. And also there we try to support. So we like to have the members share expertise, knowledge, and so on. We try to fund them. And next to that, we also are working on 2, and in the short-term future 3, but currently 2 topics as were defined by our members. So last year, February, we had a big meeting where we asked the members like, hey, what do you want us to do, or which topic do you want us to focus on? Well, digital health or health data, not a surprise, but also ATMP, so cell and gene therapy, tissue engineering. And what do we do as Medvia when our members say do something? Well, we create what we call a strategic initiative. And within these strategic initiatives, what do we want to do? We want to make sure that everybody knows which kind of initiatives are being taken forward within that specific topic, because you would be amazed on how little everybody knows what the other one is doing. So that's what we try to do. We try to create that helicopter view so that they know, like, okay, this is being done. We work towards concrete projects. We don't want to be a place where it's just talk, like I'm doing now. Sorry for that. But we really want to work towards concrete projects that can be funded. And for instance, currently we're together with specific organizations in the Netherlands working on an Interreg project within the ATMP sector in order to get funding, because everybody needs money. It is what it is. So that's what we try to do. And we also, I would not call us a lobby organization, but we hear a lot from our members. We hear a lot of the same problems, issues, and so on coming up. When we hear that, we try to be the collective voice, voicing these issues and bottlenecks towards the relevant governments. So I think in a nutshell, that's it. I also want to say something about the European project, but I think that's better for in the next, okay.
People will want to know when your summit is. When's your summit?
From 9 till 11th of December.
Wonderful. I just have to say, one of the nice things that she made reference to it in a very coy way, but they do exactly what they said they would do. So one of the things she highlighted to me when we did this session was, oh, you're not having anyone from Wallonia at this session? I said, I don't know anyone from Wallonia. She keeps raising her hand now. But she actively connected us up. And not only did she actively connect us up, she brought them with her. So I think that's fantastic. So thank you very much for that. A great deep dive into one of our two Belgian ecosystems, hopefully shortly to be 3. So without any further ado, I'd like to move on and discuss a little bit now about one of our members that are based in Belgium called Allied for Startups. I've deliberately brought up the area of Allied for Startups because this is another different type of organisation that are members for us. Okay. I'm not going to talk any more about them though. Matthew, over to you.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me properly?
Yes.
Yeah, perfectly. Okay, cool. So thank you so much for the invitation, first of all, Andy. My name is Maxime Ricard, and I am based in Brussels, and I work for Allied for Startups as policy manager. So, what do we do exactly, and who are we? First of all, you can see on the slide behind me our members. But first of all, I would like to tell you about Allied for Startups specifically. So we are the Global Startup Association, meaning that we represent the interests of the global startup ecosystems. And our members, as you can see behind me, they come from all around the world, first of all, but they are national startup associations. They are not startup themselves. So we are the umbrella organization. We are an association of associations, to be specific. And our mission is to make sure that the interests of the startup ecosystem are represented not only in the EU, but also globally. Why do I make that distinction? Well, it's because if you take a look, you'll see a lot of European names, Poland, Portugal, Greece. So like, let's say now that half, like sort of the majority of our members come from the European Union. They are based in the EU. So we say that we represent them in the EU and globally. So that's for the members. You can see that we obviously have one Belgian member over here, startups.be. They are based in Antwerp, and they cover everything that's related to Belgian affairs. And as far as we are concerned, we are covering, well, everything that's happening in the EU and globally. We have an office in Brussels, where I'm based, and we also have an office in the US. So that's for the members, that's for who we are. And now what do we do? Well, there are two things that we do. Just like you, we try to connect everyone. We try to make sure that there is We create synergies that people can meet each other, just like this conference, actually. And we try to make sure that our members are informed about everything that's happening in the EU and, again, globally. As far as I'm concerned, I'm based in the EU in Brussels, so I'm covering mostly European policy files. But again, we have this perspective of being global and really not only to focus on the European ecosystem, to really make sure that everyone talks to each other. So that's the first thing that we do, is try to connect everyone and to create synergies. The second thing that we do is lobbying. We are an advocacy organization. Don't be scared. Lobbying is not a bad word. But we try to make sure to not only understand the interests of the global startup ecosystem, but also to represent them and to engage with European policymakers. Most of the time it's European policymakers. So we talk to the European Commission, the Council of the EU, so the different member states of the EU, and also the people in the European Parliament, the members of the European Parliament. So we have this really European approach, and we try to make sure that eventually the policies that come out of the EU are startup and innovation-friendly policies. This is what we do in a nutshell. So that's for the mission. What do we do? If I had to give you examples of the policy files that we are working on, we have been working on the Artificial Intelligence Act. I think some of you might have heard of this one. It's the biggest and the first AI law in the world, and it touches upon medical devices as well. And the second one, it's the European Health Data Space. I'm sure you've heard about this one. So we try to make sure that, again, the startup perspective, the global startup perspective, is represented within those policy files. And I would be delighted to talk with you about those policy files as a lobbyist myself. So that's, in a nutshell, what we do. And to that end, in order to make sure that we can convince European policymakers that the startup perspective must be represented, we have drafted recently a manifesto for the EU elections. It's available on our website. You can see here the website, allianceforstartups.org. It's a bit long, but it's quite easy, actually. And within this manifesto, you will basically see all the demands that we have been, demanding, that we have been requesting the EU to take into account. One of them is, for instance, to create a European commissioner for startups and for digital entrepreneurship, because for the moment we don't have that in the EU. And also so next to this manifesto, we are also requesting the European Parliament to create what we call an intergroup, a bit technical, but it's actually quite simple. It's just an informal gathering of MEPs, members of the European Parliament, within the European Parliament to discuss startup-related files, just to make sure that there is a group of people within the European Parliament that can discuss everything that's related to startup ecosystems, including everything that's related to digital health and startups in digital health. And the third thing that I would like to tell you as well is that we have our annual summit in October. So it's a 3 days gathering. The last day will be dedicated to digital health. So if you are interested in digital health, I assume you are. If you are interested in AI, we also have a panel on AI. We also have a panel on competitiveness. So you are welcome to come to Brussels and to enjoy with us these panels on different startup-relevant topics. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. Now, just because again, it's very coy. They send out a fantastic newsletter every Friday, if I remember rightly, full of information, very, very focused on some of the issues that was touched on there. I would suggest you just one of the minimal things you do is subscribe to that newsletter, because it is, I think, one of the better ones, apart from our.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I thought you would do. So that's a little bit of a flavour for our Belgian ecosystems and members. Is there any questions from, obviously I don't want to put people on the spot, is there any questions or anything you're not clear about? I suggest you take it up with either Max, or if you've got questions about the Medvia ecosystem and maybe want to get involved with a summit, perhaps reach out and make contact directly, because I think you've got that information. You should, obviously, because you're members of us, be able to push all that information out through our newsletter as well. So thank you very much. Big round of applause, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So.